So we're bigger than some European countries, and just as a region in Australia. I mean, in Menil, it maybe rains 3 or 4 times a year.
That's really rare for this photo.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll be around. Sally will be around all week. So please feel free to come up to any of us during your tour through the exhibition and ask questions. And we welcome all of you to enjoy Mapawea, Your Map's Not Needed. So thank you very much.
My name is Sally Scales. I'm from the APY lands, which stands for the Arnongu Yanjara Yankunjara lands. I am the spokesperson for the APY Art Centre Collective. We look after the 7 art centres in the APY lands, as well as the 2 galleries that we have, one in Sydney, one in Adelaide, as well as an art centre in Alice Springs and in Woodijula community, which is Marich Arts and Jumpy Desert Weavers.
And we had an opportunity to really show something unique to Houston audiences, Texas audiences, and we took the opportunity to work with the Fondation Opal and show one of the best collections of Aboriginal contemporary art from Australia that actually is not in Australia but in Lens, Switzerland. The Fondation Opal has been a wonderful collaborating institution, and we're extremely pleased to be working with them.
The collection of Bérengère Prima is a world-class collection. It's one of the very best collections in the world of Australian Aboriginal art. We had, at an early stage, the team from the Menil collection, including curator Paul Davis, visiting the Fondation Opal in Switzerland. And it was really a collaboration. So we were able to show them the very best works of Aboriginal art, and it was really a matter of selecting together the very best work.
We're very grateful that we've had this opportunity, and we have to thank the Foundation Opal. I mean, this is their collection. Bérengère Prima has done an amazing job acquiring a lot of Aboriginal works from across Australia, and for that door to be opened with the foundation, and then in a sense this extension to the Menil, and having a chance to come over, it's been a wonderful experience.
My name is Paul Davis, and I'm curator of collections at the Menil Collection. The Menil is a world-class institution. It's a museum that was founded in 1987 by John and Dominique de Menil, and it sits in this wonderful residential area in the middle of Houston. And it's free and open, accessible to the public. Some of the uniqueness comes from the founders who come from France originally during World War II, and they brought with them, an amazing eye. And we're very fortunate that they were avid collectors and developed a wonderful collection that not only spans modern contemporary art, but has one of the most important collections of Pacific Island art in Texas. And of course, you can't get away from the fact that this is one of the best surrealist collections in the world.
It is tremendously important to have Aboriginal here at the Menil Collection in Houston. To start with, Aboriginal art hasn't been shown that much in the United States, in Europe, so there is still a lot of work to be done to present Aboriginal art in contemporary art museums. It is a contemporary art, of course. Why the Menil collection? Well, the Menil collection, if you look at its collection, some of the oldest works of art go back some thousands of years. The very oldest is even 15,000 years old. It is a bone, a carved bone. They have works of art from all across the world, but they haven't shown Aboriginal art yet. So Aboriginal art is as well contemporary art, but at the same time it has a pedigree of many tens of thousands of years. So in that sense it is at the same time prehistory and contemporary art, which makes it quite unique. I'm Georges Petitjean. I'm the curator of the collection Bérengère Prima. That is the basis of the Fondation Opal in Switzerland. Some of the pictures in the exhibition, and I'm thinking of the work of Ronnie Champechimpa, for instance, will ring a bell with American visitors, because visually it's very reminiscent of op art and the work of Frank Stella.
for general visitors to the Menil, who may not have an art historical background and may not even have an Australian background, coming to see this show is very much like how we approach or hope that they approach coming to any show or any exhibition that we do. The work is powerful, and the idea is to engage with the work. Whether or not you understand the full background or the full history of that work is not necessarily the point of the exhibition. You can learn that. And I think it's important that when people come here, they open their eyes, and what they do what Manara Williams wants them to do, and is listen, kuliala, and to listen to what the work is telling them. And I think if they do that and they're curious and pursue those questions that they develop through the exhibition, then they'll have a greater understanding of that history of Australia and the work that's in the exhibition.
So the APY Lands is in the far northwest corner of South Australia, and we're 102,000 square kilometres, so we're a pretty huge landmass region. We have 10 communities, so it's 10 little villages, I suppose you can say, across the lands. We're part of a desert country, so it's very hot and dry. But unlike Houston, we don't have humidity, which I really enjoy. The other piece that we have from the APY Lands is Mike Williams' piece, which is where the title Mapawia comes from. You know, your map's not needed, and he was very much a political man who was involved with the land rights, involved in all of that sort of stuff. And so his piece, which he's done on the mailbags, which is, it says on there, it's an offence to write or draw on this, and he's crossed out bag and wrote Manta and Jukurpa, which means like this land is Aboriginal land. It's really much a political statement in the fact that sovereignty was never ceded, this country is ours, your map's not needed.
So for me as a curator, what really attracted me to this exhibition and the theme of the exhibition was the idea of country and the idea of Indigenous land and the knowledge of Indigenous peoples in that land. And that comes, I think, very clearly across in the work that's in the show. The work, the paintings, the sculptures, those are actually, they're not necessarily representations of land and country, they are land and country. There's no difference. And the work by Mumu Mike Williams or Manara Williams really speaks to that. His work, which focuses on the political side of land rights and the struggles of Aboriginal peoples during the 19th and 20th century, really speaks to these ideas of land rights and the power of Indigenous peoples' knowledge of the land.
Every artist from that show is doing an extension of themselves and an extension of their country in every piece as you're walking around, you know, from Rover Thomas's piece to, you know, Patty Bedford's to, you know, Teresa Baker, and that collaborative piece she does is truly an extension of the artist and of their country.
Yeah, the Aboriginal culture is a culture with very little material possessions. The culture is really a spiritual culture. The knowledge of the country, the knowledge of the creation of the country are all encompassed in oral stories, actually in songs, in sung poems. So these paintings, after all, even if they are contemporary creations, they are visualizations of poems, of sung poems. And in that sense, they are material presentations of something that at the very core, at the very basis, is totally immaterial.
In the APY Lands, we've got artists who do pottery works, and there's one of the colours that is used by some of the artists is what they'll actually do is collect the soot from after it's rained and the muddy land, when that's dried, the clay layer, they collect that and then they grind that into a pigment, I suppose, and then they will use that when they in their pottery works for the colour. We still do puna works, we still do wooden work, so the spears, the tools, the piri, the bowls, or the kulaman still use. We still make those, and that's very much still from the land and from nature. We use acrylic because it's durable, it's bendable. We can't transport pieces like that framed across the country because it would cost a lot of money. So we use as acrylics because when we roll it, unroll it, all of that.
So one of my favorite pieces in the show is it's called Post Bag, which the title is not very seductive, perhaps, but it's very powerful because what the artist has done, Kunumunar Williams, has taken a post bag, an Australian official document from the government, and usurped it and taken it and written and painted on it. And what he's done is utilize it for his own purposes and turned it into an Aboriginal object. So he makes the bag about the land and the dreaming, which is a really general way of characterizing what the Chukupra is. The Chukupra is the underlying philosophy, cosmology for Aboriginal peoples, and it's the way they associate with the land and through the land. And so his painting on this post bag is extremely powerful, and it's hung by a spear, or a kulata. And these are objects that are used for hunting and they're used for defense. And in a sense, this found object that he transforms into an artwork becomes a statement of power and defense of the Aboriginal knowledge and ownership or custodianship of the land.
Well, I do have many favorite pieces in the exhibition. I've been talking about Ronnie Champechimpa, and probably my favorite pieces are the three fabulous works by Ronnie Champechimpa.
If I was to have a favourite, it would actually be my grandmother, Wiria Burton. She's 97. She is a powerhouse painter. I would recommend everyone look up her. She's from an art centre called Jala Arts, and she's incredible. And recently, Jala Arts had a show in New York, which was Jala and Yarachi Young's piece, which is behind us. So my grandma and Yarachi are from the same art centre, Jala Arts, which is from Armada Community, and Yarachi is a fantastic contemporary artist where when you go through the show, her piece is unlike anything else. The colours, the ink work that comes through, on top of the layering that she does on the piece, it's striking, it's bossy, it's in your face, but in a very gentle and inquiring way. I think you look at it and go, but it's the powerhouse of Yarachi comes through.
I saw that the Rolling Stones visited here. I wasn't here, but apparently they had a wonderful time touring the exhibitions that were on view. And yeah, it's not just the Rolling Stones, but we have Beyonce coming here. We have lots of really well-known, famous celebrities coming through the Menil collection. I'd like to invite everybody to come visit the neighborhood and come into the Menil and see this wonderful show, Mapawea, Your Map's Not Needed, Aboriginal Australian art from the Fondation Opal. It's an amazing show, and all our galleries will be open, and we look forward to having you here.